Cloud. Hello there, thanks for joining. This is the IES Summer Programs Abroad info session. My name is Angelo Pisano. I'm the Study Abroad Coordinator in the Lewis Global Studies Center. Myself, I have a background in German, French, and Turkish language study. I'm here with my esteemed colleague, Beth Eustace. Beth, you're the Director of Campus Relations, right? Based over there in South Hadley, so pretty nearby. And we're going to spend the next 10 to 20 minutes or so talking about IES's summer program offerings.
Well, thank you, Angelo. I'm glad to be here and to be speaking with all the Smith students. I've been on your campus many, many times, especially since I do live in the Valley, and I miss seeing students in person, but hopefully can do so soon in the very near future, I would hope. So this is just a short presentation on IES Abroad summer programs. I'm going to start just with a few words about what IES is, because students always ask me that. So first of all, there we go. So that's me. I am the Director of College Relations. IES Abroad is headquartered in Chicago, but I work with schools in Massachusetts and Connecticut, and so I'm fortunate to live right here in Western Massachusetts. And I am the point of contact for any Smith College students who are starting to consider applying to any IES Abroad program. I'll have this email at the end of the presentation, but all you have to do is email study@iesabroad.org from your Smith account. The email comes directly to me. Once you complete or submit an online IES application, you can still email study@iesabroad.org. Your message will go directly to the program advisor for that program. So once you apply, you'll be working with someone who's a real expert in your program. So just briefly going through one of the most common questions I get at study abroad fairs is, who is IES Abroad? Which, if you're not in this field, you wouldn't necessarily know. We are actually a not-for-profit organization. We were founded 72 years ago. Just after World War II, there were three very idealistic social activists, two people from the United States, one from the UK, who got together and wanted to have an exchange with the German-speaking world as a way of healing after the Second World War. And so they started our very first program in Vienna, Austria, which is still running today. So it really did start as something of a social justice organization and grew from there into a much larger study abroad provider. And so today we have study abroad and internship options all around the world. We have really more than 130 different programs on most continents. We are an academic consortium of 260 schools. Smith College is part of our consortium. So they, attend our conference, they get our mailings. Schools that are full members of our consortium are involved in setting our curriculum, sitting on our curriculum committee, so we make sure it's good quality. IES Abroad has a lot of scholarships and aid available very easily. We have one standard aid application on our website. All you have to do is fill that out and submit it. We'll do the work for you of figuring out what different scholarships you'd be eligible for. So we try to make that really easy for you. I like to say we have a student-first approach. Those of us who are doing this through a nonprofit are doing it because we love working with students and we want you to have a good experience. We also have a network of over 150,000 alumni. So once you finish your program, you're not necessarily done with IES. If you want to continue having a connection, we have reunions overseas. I myself did an IES program at Durham University many years ago and was thrilled to go to my reunion back, I think, about 5 years ago. So why would you pick IES over other study abroad providers? We offer more than $6 million in scholarships and aid. We are especially strong in health and safety support and protocols. That's, of course, been extremely important during COVID, but we have staff all around the world who are well-trained. You get insurance through us. We have 24/7 support for you and your families. We have a whole crisis management team that is always monitoring situations in the world, communicating. So we take health and safety quite serious. We have top faculty, phenomenal faculty. We hire local faculty at our centers. So these are not, faculty who are coming over from the United States just to teach a course, although those faculty can be very good too, but we hire local faculty who usually teach with our partner university. We have made a commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion for many years now. We actually have a whole department on diversity, which I'll be talking about later. But we have been doing this for at least 15 years. We have staff available for anyone with a diverse background who needs additional support. And that's at the center of everything we do. Our overseas centers are also well-staffed. We have a director, we have people working with student affairs and housing who are there to help you. So you will be fully supported while you're abroad. Before you go, as I mentioned, you have personal advising. You'll have an advisor who's an expert in your program, who's available. Most of the advisors are out of our Chicago office. And of course, we find your housing to make sure that it's safe and comfortable and appropriate for student housing. So where can you study? Well, really all over the world. Because this is a presentation on summer programs, I just picked out most of our summer programs. If you look at our website, iesabroad.org, it's at the bottom of the screen. You can also see we have a few J-term programs. We have semester programs. Smith College, in fact, approves for credit our program during the semester in Nagoya, Japan. So we have many programs beyond these, but I'm focusing today on summer programs. So I listed out here, we have a total of 45 summer programs. I listed out on this slide and the next slide, the programs that we are actually running in 2022. There are very few programs, for example, Japan and New Zealand, because of COVID and entry restrictions, we can't unfortunately run them this summer, but we expect to in the future. So just to give you an idea, we have a number of programs throughout Europe, but we also have, as you can see, programs in South America and Argentina and Chile. We're in Cape Town for students interested in health studies. We have some of our programs are very general language and culture programs. Some of them are going to be very specific to a topic. Just for example, the Dublin program, intensive acting. It's at a top theater school at the Gaiety School right in downtown Dublin. So I think you can find a pretty wide variety of, whether you want a general liberal arts program or you want something very focused on, say, environmental studies. Many of our programs in the summer do not require a background in language. though in many locations you'd be required to take a language course while you're there. We do have some programs, though, where if you want to have an immersion experience in language, you can certainly do that. For example, in Paris, in Salamanca, you could have a Spanish-only program, Madrid, and a few others if you're looking for more of an immersion experience. And finally, I'll just say that most of these programs run about 6 weeks. You would be taking 2 courses for credit. The one exception to that would be the Salamanca, Spain program, Language and Culture. That is a 4-week language intensive program at the university, but they have 2 sessions, so you can go either for 4 weeks or for 8 weeks. So these are our traditional kind of study abroad programs where you're going over and you're taking coursework. In addition to those sorts of programs, we also have a few programs that are internship programs. And these are this is a list of our locations for summer internships. Those programs are quite a bit different than the traditional study abroad programs because you're mostly going to be at a work placement. Now, all of these programs are for academic credit. They are not paid internships, but you would go over, you'd have a placement depending on the location, probably around 30 hours a week. Everyone takes an internship seminar, so they come together with the other students and learn about cultural issues surrounding the internship. In a few locations, you can take a language course if you wish to do that. We have a whole internship office in our Chicago office, and they work with you before you go. We guarantee the placement before you go. If for some reason we can't get the placement, there's a refund for that. But we are very successful, so you don't have to worry about finding your employer. We take care of all of that. Our internship department keeps a vast database of past employers that they've worked with. And if you go onto our website and look up internships, you can get much more information. But most of these locations are going to have quite a variety of types of options, everything from business, not-for-profit, the arts, education. Even in Shanghai, we have engineering internships. So there's a lot of diversity in what we offer. So those are basically the 2 types of summer programs that we offer.
Beth, can I ask about the average length of an internship program?
Oh, excellent question. Yes, yeah. Those are a little bit longer. Those are 8 weeks long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I want to circle back to that because there's a nice pocket of funding available for Smith students securing internships abroad.
That would be a perfect fit. Yeah. Unfortunately, I do have to say that the deadline for this summer has passed for the internship programs because it's a lot of work getting the students ready for their placement. So those deadlines usually come up around late January, early February for the summer. Now, for the regular study abroad programs, though, most of those programs, the deadlines have not passed yet. The deadlines fall mostly between early and late March, and we do have a few programs even with mid-April deadlines. Yeah. And so this is just a screenshot from, if you go on our website, iesabroad.org, I just wanted to show you, if you click on our programs, you will bring up, the top link is a search for programs. Very easy to search by city, areas of study, length. You can put in semester or summer or J-term. If you wanted to just look at the internship programs, or if you're interested in more general study abroad. So this is really a page to start with when you're searching. And again, that's right off our main page under our programs. Just a few course examples just to show you the diversity of the sorts of courses we offer. And we really make use of our location for courses. So many courses are going to have visits out in the city, you know, visits to see the architecture or a local health center, a museum. We make the most of our location, but you can see history and culture of food in Italy and Tuscany, luxury brand marketing. That might not quite be for Smith because I don't know that you teach business, but you know, a health and community course in Cape Town. Quito has wonderful options, both Quito and the Galapagos, in environmental studies. So that just gives you a sampling. I briefly mentioned scholarships. We have a lot of financial aid, and it's so easy to apply for our financial aid. I would encourage any student to just fill out the simple application. We'll figure out what scholarships work for you and maximize what you can get. For the summer, our only aid is need-based aid, and that's up to $1,000. For semester, we have need-based aid. We also have donor-funded scholarships, and we have special scholarships for our diverse student populations. And I mentioned diversity. We have a department with 3 full-time people who are experts in supporting students from diverse backgrounds, and we define that very broadly. You know, you might be a first-generation college student, a student of color. You know, however you identify, do not hesitate to reach out. Their page is down here, but you can just make a phone call or just send an email to study@iesabroad.org, and we can have you work directly with one of our diversity advisors. They often can put you in touch with past students. So, and also if you look on our diversity page, we have lots of resources there, kind of broken down by, you know, regional areas, by race, by sexual identity, gender identity. So please do take advantage of those resources. And then I think most Smith College students know what to do because the study abroad office is so centralized, but certainly if you're interested, talk to your study abroad office, your academic advisor, our website, iesabroad.org. And of course, you can always call or email at any point. And we have if you go on our website, we have ambassadors who are past participants who are happy to email with you. We also have correspondents who blog for us. As I said before, you will have an IES advisor. Social media, we have tons of videos on YouTube, so take a look at that. And there again is just the email I've mentioned, study@iesabroad.org. So we hope to see some good Smith students.
Yeah, right. Wonderful. Thanks, Beth. The one note that I wanted to loop back to, even though, of course, for summer 2022, internships are sort of off the table at the moment for IES. Students watching this video and looking ahead to summer 2023 should know that with the sort of program components that Beth laid out for their internship programs in the summer, Praxis is a really great option. So Praxis funding is about $4,000 on average, and you can apply those funds to any internship where where you have 220 hours of contact. So at 30 hours a week, 8 weeks, you're comfortably in that range. And just make sure you have a good chat with the Lazarus Center folks about the timeline of applying for praxis. And of course, like Beth mentioned, please also stop into the International Study office in the Lewis Global Study Center, because there are tons of other resources and opportunities for funding at the institution level, as well as IES scholarships. So yep, just wanted to put a good plug in there for praxis. I've seen students be really successful with this. For example, when they combine spring study and then stay in their location, or extend time, for example, on the European continent, to do a summer internship shortly after their term time study. So always happy to chat. Again, I'm Angelo. Beth, thanks again so much. I'm going to stop the recording here, and yeah, I hope you all stop in for advising soon.